The Vancouver Experimental Theremin Orchestra, which I'll refer to at this point as VETO, was formed in 2011. As far as I know, we're still the only experimental orchestra in all of Canada. It was comprised of, based on 2 workshops on theremin building from Vivo Media Arts Centre in Vancouver. This is Leon Theremin, the inventor of the instrument. 1920 is when the instrument was invented, and there have been many commercial variations and home-built kits based on his plans. This is a standard-looking Robert Moog theremin. The vertical antenna is used to control pitch, and the horizontal for volume control. It looks a bit like a black box, but it is based on using radio frequency. The use of your hands is actually particularly important, and trained theremin players are very specialized in using their hands very intricately for octaves and keys. And I like it because it gave me the idea when I discovered it that you were actually playing the air. Many applications have been used for the theremin. Many know the movie The Day the Earth Stood Still, the very eerie sound that you wind up hearing. Also, the entrance music tonight was 2 pieces from 2 different performances by ourselves. The instrument itself, this is what the internal looks like. You have several oscillators, and it's really nice to be able to look at it in the sense of that you can either purchase your own or create one if you're really good at soldering, which I found out I'm not. But I put mine in a pastels box, which was really quite nice. The orchestra has managed to have a nice variety of performances with other artists and performers throughout our short history. This is our first one, a good 15 of us at Signal and Noise 2011 at Vivo. That was quite a nice performance, and we had a very good turnout and feedback. This fostered a tightening of the orchestra, and we're about 10 members at this point. And many of the artists use effects pedals and synthesizers and things on the side that we can actually connect to the theremin. Effects pedals are very popular. It really expands the range of the theremin, and many of the artists in the orchestra are working interdisciplinary artists, musicians, and sound artists. So it opens up a very broad range for experimentation and contemporary art practice. This was a performance that was at Emily Carr University in 2011. And again, we had very good feedback from people. And we went on to perform with other artists, and it started getting really quite interesting because we became much more immersed in what it was that we were participating in, whether it was reflections of people's shows on nature, on different performances. And it got me to thinking, you know, how could I actually incorporate this instrument into my independent art practice? Because there's very many in jacks for the instrument, and much augmentation you can do. So this took me to the point of wanting to produce. And we were very fortunate to be able to be contacted by a theremin player from Hamburg, Germany, who herself was trained by Lydia Kavina. Lydia Kavina is one of the world's renowned theremin players, who herself was taught by Leon Theremin. This is Tratriona Capra from Hamburg, Germany. She was gracious enough to come and invite us to play with her. And that was a wonderful experience because myself being a new media artist was able to coordinate the show with her directly and produce visuals for her upcoming album, 2,000 Miles Under the Sea. And this was a very lovely experience for me personally as an artist, as well as to be able to get a few tips on those hand gestures I was telling you about. It's not too often that you get an opportunity to be able to do that. I like to think the idea that it's gone to the point now for us that we like to see where this will go as far as an experimental orchestra, and the word experimental is quite supreme in our practice. This is an installation I did a couple of years ago where I trigger a high-velocity fan to blow leaves for an installation I did on the Kumeyaay Sibyl. And it's just, you can augment the theremin whereby the volume on it would trigger the fan. This is Tom. He's the canine companion of co-member Julie Andreev, and she did a project called Scratch Theremin, whereby she used a flexible wire under the carpet, and Tom accompanied us in several performances. This was a very good interspecies participation and has opened the door totally as to what kind of new worlds we can do with the theremin.